What's up, everybody? We probably need a little more lighting here, but got the GoTrax other scooter. I'm about to disassemble. Let me show you what it was. Let me show you what kind it is. Whoop! That was my whole address. This is what we're working with today. The GoTrax Flex Campus. So this folds down like this. And yeah, it has a seat. You put a little basket on the back, all of that. So we're going to go ahead and put this together now and charge it up and test it out. All right, so here's everything taken out of the box. It doesn't look like, while it's in there, it looks like it's going to be a little challenging to put together, but not really. I know it's like the handlebars. Yeah, okay, well, anyway, this was out and the handlebars are folded down. So I just popped that up and closed that latch. So doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a deal to put together. So I'm going to go and get started. It actually looks like it's going to be easier than the other GoTrax with the 8.5-inch tires. These tires already look way more robust. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the assembly and then I'll get back to you. Okay, we're back. So now we have a little problem. So all that was going good. And now we have this thing. So there's a little black thing in here, a little black plastic thing. I don't know if I think you leave it in there because if you take this out and then go to put the seat in, it's just super baggy, right? It's not supposed to be that much wiggle room. So you need something in there as a buffer. But if you put this in there, okay, you put that in there, you already see it's all mangled around the edges. That is because this won't go in there. No, it would not fit. So the instructions don't say anything about this. So I'm gonna have to figure this out. I think I tried putting it on here and that gave me the most success first and then trying to slide it in there. So this is already as loose as it can be. Let's try that again. Got it! Oh, well, that's good enough. I think we're near completion, but one thing I want to show you is the basket. So you can adjust where it sits on the scooter. I don't really know why they'd give you that option, but hey, I appreciate options. All right, so I just got this scooter and I'm using the Delta 2 to charge it. And if we look at the brick, it says that its output or the input rather, would be 1.8 amps at 100 to 240 volts. So that is quite interesting. So let's call it 100, all right? So that means roughly 180 watts should be going out of that thing into this thing. And as we see, the output is 73 watts, and it's saying that this will last 11 hours. So what we're going to do now is unplug this and plug it in to the outlet, and we're going to measure how much wattage it pulls. All right, now we're in the house. We have it. Well, that is interesting. So being plugged in, you see I've had it plugged in for 31 seconds now, but being plugged into the regular outlet in the house, it's only pulling 70 watts. So it would actually charge faster using the Delta 2. So I think that's what we're going to do. It said it'll take roughly 5.5 hours for this thing to charge. Let's go ahead and let it sit on here for a few minutes to see if it goes up. But really and truly, I think that's it. I might let it sit on here for 5 minutes. All right, so we have the scooter all assembled now. And I did want to bring some attention to the tires. Notice that these tires are a lot larger than the other one. Those are 8.5 inches and these are 14 inches. And I also want to talk about inflating them. You see how the inflator tube angles out so it's easy to get to, and that is on both the front and the rear wheels. Unlike the other one, that you had to squeeze in there, and it came with an extension. Well, this one still comes with an extender too, but it's totally unnecessary. I do want to say that this thing is a beast to pick up. Another thing that I know is just getting it out of the garage in order to make it move is a lot different than the other one. The other one you had to kind of scoot to get going up to about 2 or 3 miles per hour. And once you started going like 3 miles an hour, then you could initiate the battery operated motor. But this one's a lot different. It has a whole ignition. So right now it's off, and then you turn it on. If you can see that, and then turn it on again, that will turn on your headlight. And all you gotta do is just pull down on this thing and it'll start going. So from zero. So anyway, let's go ahead and take it for a ride around the neighborhood. Then we're gonna take on some rough terrain, and then we'll load up in the FJ Cruiser and take it to the park. The handlebars are crooked. But it's much more enjoyable to sit. I can't stand though. But the handlebars are kind of low for standing. It also doesn't tell you what the speed is. This thing is slow. Handlebars are really crooked. There's something rubbing on the back. Brakes are up. Ooh, I didn't even feel those rumble strips. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, this is nothing at all. I didn't even feel it. Woo. Oh, this is really bad. If it wasn't even this, that's still not bad. All right, so we just went on about a 4 or 5 mile ride, and here's what I have to say about it. The seat is kind of comfortable, and that's something you can easily swap out. The handlebars are crooked. Let's see if you can see that. Oh, straight down. Yeah, you see how crooked that is? Handlebars are crooked. It doesn't tell you the speed that you're going, so that's not helpful. The bell's actually not too bad. When you're going, it sounds loud when you're riding. There are no real shock absorbers. However, well, there are in the back, and that makes a huge difference, as well as the large tires. So I really like that. Another huge difference between the 8.5 inch one, the 8.5 inch tire one, where you have to stand up, is this doesn't have the torque that one has. So it's a slower buildup, which I prefer because it doesn't catch you off guard. I also do appreciate that you can go from zero with this. You don't have to scoot it to keep going. You just have to be mindful of that when you're crossing the street and all that, that it's not going to just go zoop and, get you across there. The other thing is, this thing is slow. At its top speed, I wish I was still recording on the GoPro. I looked over and the squirrel was just, it wasn't even running full speed, but it was just galloping next to me, and it was the same speed. This thing isn't even faster than a squirrel. So, like, nowhere near, like, not even a squirrel running, just casually galloping. That's how fast it is. It feels like maybe 8 miles an hour, definitely not 20. So let's go ahead and see how difficult it is to fold up and put inside of the back of the FJ. Another thing I just noticed is that I had the lights on the whole time, and I wonder if that made a difference in the speed. So I'm going to spin the block one more time, but I had the headlights on, and look, it even has some cool little tail lights. Let's see if it has like a brake light. It does. That is so cool. All right, now let's go ahead and see how difficult it is to put inside the truck. So yeah, it was definitely a difference. What I did was, while I was going, I switched the lights on, and it went, it just kind of bucked a little bit. But we can see the light up there, see a difference. And we're going to go ahead and go into the garage and see what difference the light makes. Okay, so you can see also what the fuel gauge looks like at night, but it's pitch black in here. So let's go and turn on the light. That's really high. Those are some super high beams, it seems like. That's a weird light. I mean, how hard is it to mount just like a flashlight to the thing? Doesn't feel safe at all. How is the light so high? It needs to be pointed down to the ground. I guess it kind of is, but then also up high. I don't know. Weird. All right, so what do I think about the GoTrax Campus? Well, I just noticed that on Walmart's website, the Campus Pro is on clearance for $200, whereas this was $399. The Campus Pro has a 500 watt battery, where this is only 400 watts. And this was also misrepresented in terms of speed. So this was advertising 20 miles per hour, but it doesn't do that. It's supposed to do 15 and a half, which it don't do that either. So yeah, that's quite the disappointment. It's heavy, I feel like, for what you're getting, because it's not fast like it's supposed to be. It doesn't tell you how fast you're going, and the handlebar is crooked. Other than that, I don't think I have a lot of gripes with it, but those are pretty big, not being the speed it's supposed to be. But it doesn't even do 15 miles per hour. Feels more like 8. And so that's disappointing. But if you were like on campus, or maybe even commuting to work, I think you probably need to go 20 miles an hour to go to commute to work. But just on campus or something, you riding down sidewalks, I actually think this is probably pretty good. Obviously, you want the handlebars to work, and I think knowing how fast you're going is very important. So I wouldn't recommend this one in particular. So if you found one that had big tires, definitely recommend the 14-inch wheels with some type of suspension. I was able to go over all types of terrain, and it didn't bother me. Nothing like that 8.5-inch. You could even get a bigger seat. That's actually quite cushiony, but a wider one would probably be better. and I would prefer something with a better headlight, but the brake lights are definitely cool. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions about it, ask them in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. One more thing, you guys, I came out here to get a thumbnail, but I wanted to say also, the thing I don't like about this, you can only really sit on this. This is not, standing up is not an option for this thing because the handlebars are too low. You can't adjust the height or anything. So you're stuck at this height, which I also don't like. So there is that as well.